Welcome to the App Showcase, where we review Microsoft-related apps primarily from the App Store, but also through trial versions. SV MacPack is a certified veteran-owned and HUBZone consulting firm supporting primarily the U.S. federal government. In support of our customers' need to do market research on apps such as these, we started recording our review of these apps. We hope the reviews help you as well. In this video, we're going to be reviewing birthday apps as a whole. We're starting something a little bit different here. With birthday apps, we're going to give an overview before we begin to go through each one of the apps, one per video or one per day. As always, I'm going to move fast on what I'm pointing out that I like and what would make me hesitate to recommend this app to my customer. My goal is to be as candid as I would be if just talking to my own team about these apps. Hopefully the review helps you and perhaps even provides good feedback to the publishers of these apps. Let's go ahead and get started on the birthday apps. There's a whole bunch of them in the store. Let me hit the page down here, and you'll see that there's 10 apps that I found. There's 1,200 apps in the store, the Microsoft Store, but these 10 kind of surfaced up as ones that are related to birthdays in one way or another, and we try to group them together. In this overview, we just wanted to give you a quick understanding of what apps we're going to be walking through as we move forward, and then most importantly, what we want to do is just highlight really quickly the apps we're not recommending and why we're not recommending it. So you see at the bottom, there's 3 of them we're not recommending. The first one and the third one we're not recommending because you have to buy it before you can even try it. And if it's on the App Store, generally it's good form to let us try it for like 15 days or even 5 days or something, somehow to be able to try it before you buy it. And then the middle one, the second one from GoodPoint, that one you have to, they try to get you to buy, but then they have this option to be able to, and I'll show you in a second, but they'll have this option to try it. But when you try it, you have to log in, and it won't accept your login at all. So it's just convoluted. If you've watched my other videos, you know that if it requires me to log in, then it's a dead deal for me on recommending it to my customers, because if it's difficult now, it potentially is just difficult down the road, and I don't want to go through that particular process. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 pages. Even though I'm not recommending it, I just kind of want to walk you through really quick what you might have seen. So we'll start with the birthday, the one titled Birthdays from Multi-Connect, I believe it is. So right here, I just tabbed over to look at it, and right away I see some basic stuff. First off, it hasn't been updated since 2014, as you can see, so it's a really old app. It's not the end of the world that we're not going to be able to review it, since it probably is not built for 2016 or SharePoint Online or any of that kind of stuff. It does have one review of the birthday app, and basically it just looks like it's got the birthday, the name, and a picture. So that's pretty straightforward stuff. There's no ratings, there's no reviews. I think they're just kind of leaving this out here waiting for somebody to come along and buy it. But anyways, that's that, and that's pretty useless, so I'm going to move on. The next one is GoodPoint's Birthday Pro. This one I thought would look good, and really the only reason I'm not looking at it is because it's just frustrating. But let's go ahead and look at it. For $300 you can buy the thing flat out. I'm assuming that's a perpetual license, and it's unlimited. So that, you know, basically it's like buying a web part and being able to use it everywhere. They have updated it fairly recently. You know, if it's in the past couple of years, I kind of give them credit for updating it. So that's only about a year ago. And to me, that seems like maybe they're tracking on the versions. Down here, like I said, they do have the trial period. Oh, here's the licensing we were just talking about. Unlimited users for one deployment. That's a loaded thing. It's interesting when people put that in, because in some environments you might have 500 people on a license, but right now with the single tenant, you could get the Department of Veterans Affairs, for example, with 300 or 400,000 users in there. You know, was that the intention of this publisher? Coming on down, they have some basic stuff about, they've updated this, I'm assuming, so they're definitely focused on 2016 and beyond, and that's good. And it's supporting everything that's kind of modern. Let's take a quick look. I like looking at the cards just so you can understand what's out there and what the possibility is. This looks almost exactly like that other one I just rejected that was back in 2014. It's got some basic fields, the birth date, and the picture, right? Let's see what their other... So this is showing you just put a list in, and you're pointing the URL to probably a library that'll have that. I don't know if you can see this, but basically you put the basic fields in, put their photo, and you're off to the races. Let's just look at a couple more. Okay, this one is a web part. So this is a web part settings section, and you can see it looks like that you're able to set how long it displays, whether you show these fields. I think this is really handy. This is nice. It allows you to say, I don't need to show photos right now. I just want to show people. So that's pretty cool. And then, they have some basic other settings that are in there. So that's makes it a little nicer. And then this last one is, okay, the difference. I am going to be able to show you the light version because that one was able to download. And this is really interesting that the light version is going to have ads. That's just unheard of to me in an app like this. This is a productivity app that would sit on a business, and that seems more like an app store or an app from the iPhone or something. And I like how you can purchase additional support for the pro paid version. So it looks like you have the option to purchase. I don't know why they just didn't give that a green box over there, but we'll find that out. And the rest of this stuff, they clearly haven't updated this label because it doesn't say 2016, which is something else that they wanted. But otherwise, they look exactly the same. So let's go ahead and get out of there, and I'll close it, and we'll look at the last one that is a no-go for us, and that's these guys, the user profile directory. So it's an interesting thing. It's a directory, but it's also birthdays and anniversaries. I saw that, and I figured we'd add it into our group to look at. So this is pretty good. It tells us right away what it is. It's a web part. It's just filtering out the list. If we take a look at this, basically all this is a web part to show birthdays and some profile information, and they're charging $5.99 a month. I'm assuming that's $5.99 just for using it and not per user, but I don't see anything else in here that's telling me that. Coming on down, this thing's pretty cool. It looks like they've updated it 45 times, and so maybe they were really trying to improve it. So, but when you look at this 2018, that's a modern time frame. So let's go ahead and look at some of our pictures. Okay, so it's definitely showing that it's using the modern look and feel. I don't know if you could tell, but they didn't separate the picture well. But on the left-hand side, you've got what it would look like in SharePoint Classic view, and on the right is the modern UI. But it's kind of the same thing. It's got the basic information. Let's go ahead and look at the next picture and see what we got. So, okay, so it's a web part, and here I think they're showing us, okay, so you have the ability to search the directory, so you can pull certain people up. You also have some interesting information over here. This is interesting. So one of the things I look for on an app, and this app I probably wouldn't recommend right away because it's talking about managed properties, and the challenge with managed properties is it typically is not something that the average site admin or site collection admin would be able to have access to. Now, if this was the only birthday app on the store, I might look at it. But since there's 7 others that are out there that are still possibilities, I tend to bypass it. Let's look at the last picture that they have and bring this guy up. So this one's, okay, so it's saying it's using a JavaScript, and so if you're a developer, you can get in here and make it look however you want. That's handy. That's giving it kind of an advanced functionality so that a developer maybe on your team could actually enhance it. But because they make us buy it, I'm not even recommending you even take a look at it. So we're going to go ahead and skip on that one. And here I'll just pop back up and I'll just kind of wrap up. So that was an introduction. It's a new thing we're doing, is trying to do an overview of the apps we're about to review. So hopefully you're watching this before you watch all the individual ones on birthday apps. But you notice at the bottom, again, just reminding you that I'm recommending you skip those apps until the publishers can address the concerns I mentioned. I hope you found this overview useful as you evaluate various apps available to you and your organization. Please provide me with feedback in the comments. Let me know how I can make the App Showcase channel and these reviews more useful to you. Feel free to even suggest apps that we should review, and we'll work to get them on the schedule. Finally, if you found this review helpful, please share a note about it on one of the social media platforms. I'm your host, Neil McDonald with SV MacPack. I thank you for joining me today and hope you'll join me again for other reviews.